Paula. For those who do, well, just keep it simple. Easy. All right. So I'm gonna give you a background about how this all came about. How many of you guys have a place where it's a place where it's just you and God? Like it's your own little spot. Some of us might say it's the shower. Some might say it's our room, closet, or it might even have like a little actual room you dedicated to God. I do. I mean, I'm not saying it's the only spot, but this spot is like, it's my spot. So, but it's actually my car. And it's a place where I can literally, like for instance, if it takes me 10 minutes to get home, I really will go 2 hours to get home. Just so I could drive and just have that one moment with God. Just me and Him. No music, no phone, no nothing. Just drive and just meditate on His words, or speak to Him, tell Him how I'm feeling that day, if I'm mad, sad, or thank Him for whatever it may be, or reflect on what my life used to be and what it is now. But do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like a place where
Yeah.
All right. Well, while I was driving and I was looking through the rearview mirror, and it kind of reminded me, like, that's kind of like your past. You see it behind you. You're not going to go back because your car won't. Well, you could do reverse, but anyway, you just go forward. And then, say it's at night, you have your lights on, and you only see what's in front of you with the lights. But you kind of can see over the light too. So you kind of see what's coming, but what's coming is kind of like a faith type thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of dark and stuff. Well, as I was thinking of that, it came to my mind that we're actually kind of like hoopties in a way. I'll explain. But yeah, we're kind of like hoopties that in society or family, friends, people start pushing us away because they think we're not valuable anymore. You know what I mean? We have no more value in us because we're hoopties. We can't even get to point A to point B without struggling between A and B. Mm-hmm. So, it already started the poem, by the way. It's not just flowing through my head.
Go for it.
But, so yeah, we're kind of like hoopties. People see us and they say, that's it, you can't drive to point B no more. You're stuck on between A and B. I mean, just give up. You're done. Sell the car, donate it, get yourself $100, move on to another one. But see, there's always that relentless seller, like buyer, who's like, you know what? That's the vehicle I want to work on. It's the vehicle that nobody wants. It's the vehicle with scratches, bumps, rust, bad odor, rough motor. It's the vehicle that nobody wants. And this relentless buyer buys this vehicle. And as he buys this vehicle, he decides, I'm not going to work from the outside, just so people could look and say, wow, you made the difference in the vehicle. He actually decides to work in the heart of the vehicle, which is his motor. So he opens up the hood, and he looks at it, and he sees there's rust, there's parts that are missing, there's pipes that have been worn out, engine that you can't even see the actual engine anymore. So he removes the engine, just like the heart of the vehicle. He opens it up, he paid all his money. He gave everything he got. He gave his pays, he gave his hours, his sweat, blood, working on that piece. But he thought it was worth it because he wanted to put his whole passion into it. So he starts at the hood. He starts at the engine, changes its oil, changes its parts, changes its actual computer of the whole system. It still has its same characteristics as before, but within, it's totally different. It's becoming transformed. People don't see it yet because what they see in the outside is not what they see. It's not what he's seen inside. Because what he's seen inside was a reflection of him inside of it. So, as he changed the heart of the vehicle, he decided now it's time to work inside. I'm gonna change its veins. I'm gonna change its wiring. I'm gonna remove these cloth seats that many people sat on, threw up on, squirted food on, whatever it is, and he decided to change it into leather. Not only did he could have just brought it over to someone else, but he wanted it to be his own piece. This is my piece. I'm putting everything I got into it. So as the leather, he began to sew in the seats, hand by hand. Each and every single one. Sometimes it poked and made him bleed, but he kept going. And as everybody just seen him drive down, they could hear the engine is different. They couldn't see the inside yet, but they could see there's something different about the vehicle. Although the outside had scratches, bruises, rust. And as they began to finish inside, that's when he started to work out in the outside. Because in the outside, he came to reflect what was inside of the vehicle. And as the outside began to reflect what was inside, they began to see that it was actually from the new owner. It was a reflection of what he had inside, his own dreams, what he's seen that others didn't see. It began to show. So as his final part, he decided he dipped his car into red. This beautiful red color. Nobody could really kind of Google out to see what red was. It was dipped in red, came back, and it was just shiny. It was just this amazing gloss. And that's when everybody began to see that, wow, what was inside this one owner reflects him so deep inside his heart, from the engine, from the interior, from the exterior. See, that's exactly how God is with us. We were once new vehicles, we came into this world innocent, but still we're going to be hoopties. And once we're hoopties and we think there's no way out, maybe a life of crime, a life of whatever it may be, adultery, whatever kind of sin it is, we're all going to have it. But there's always that relentless buyer, and his name is Jesus. Mm. He's seen us when people didn't see what he's seen in us what others didn't see in us. He's seen the worst, what people seen the worst in us. He's seen I could change that completely around. That nobody will ever believe that this one-time hoopty that couldn't make it from point A to point B is now making from point A to point Z. And that's exactly how God is with us. He begins with inside of us, from our hearts. Once he transforms our hearts to reflect his heart, to reflect the fire that's burning in his heart, that fire begins to spread through our veins, through our heads, through our hands, through our feet. So we begin to walk like him. We begin to speak like him. We begin to think like him. And as the inside, it begins to do a whole 360, and it starts to reflect what's outside, and people begin to see it. And then they begin to say, oh, now I know who you belong to. Now I know who created you. Because who created you is not what we thought created you. So, if we are hoopties now, just know that we're also going to be one day, if we already are, but for those who are hoopties, soon you're going to be that vintage thing that everybody wants that was worth zero to now worth millions of dollars.
Amen.